and we are live here on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to season 4 of Indigo Inspire Live, but now season 4 is collabing with the one and only Sharon Williams of Gospel Music Buzz. And so guess what? The collab is now here every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am hyped beyond measure. Sharon, welcome to the collab, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate the collaboration, and I'm looking forward to it too. I'm hype. Let's get it, as the young kids say, right? Let's go.
Let's go. And going, we have a lineup of people for the next couple of months already. Like August is booked. September is booked. We're now going into October. And this is crazy. So we are really excited about the collaboration, what you bring to the table, what I bring to the table, and the fact that we are in this together in the kingdom of God is just really, really exciting. Yes. So for everybody that's out there, please share the live because it's going to be absolutely amazing. And tonight, as you all know, we've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks and announcing this. We have none other than industry veteran and the beautiful Lucinda Moore is here with us tonight, celebrating her new single. And we'll talk about the new single, where she's been, talk about where she's, her come from through the music industry. And she's been in the industry for a long time. So she is a vet in the industry, and we'll talk about that as well with her. But in the meantime, do us a favor. Hey, like us on social media. You can see us on Instagram. You'll see us on Twitter, on Facebook. So we'll put that up here, and you'll see it's at this little feed at the bottom. I'll put it up there, and you'll see all our social media connects. And please connect with Indigo Inspire Live as well as Gospel Music Buzz. So we got something tonight for you tonight. So in the meantime, we want to bring to the virtual stage the one and only Lucinda Moore.
Hey! I made it. I survived.
Oh, isn't the enemy a liar? He's a liar.
Yeah, he's a liar.
Oh, man.
Is it a he? Lord have mercy, he and she. He's a liar.
Okay.
Fashionable as always. Thank you with
so
the glasses
much.
And all.
Really. First of all, I didn't get the memo. I'm so sorry. I could have, because I would have had my pearls on or something.
I'm actually getting ready to start to sell these. They have no lenses in them. They have no lenses. I can point them out.
Wow. Okay. I did not see that.
Yeah, but there's several styles that I'm going to be selling. Well, anyway. Yeah,
we'll get into your entrepreneurial endeavors too, because that's really part of who you are and the many multiple gifts that you have as not only just as an artist and musician, but also as a businesswoman as well. So we're definitely going to take this time. So tonight is Lucinda Moore's night, and we're going to be celebrating her and taking a step back and giving us some of her favorite songs from the past before we let you guys hear the new stuff as well. So we want to make sure that you get make this a full Lucinda Moore show tonight. So Sharon, I'm going to turn it over to you for any questions you may have.
Yes, Lucinda, again, thank you for being with us here for season 4. Of the Indigo Inspire Live show. So we know, you've been in the industry, for quite a while now, and you've done some amazing things. You've gotten awards, you've sang with the best, you've written with the best. I mean, your career to this point, is what I would say everyone that's now starting out is even hoping to get to that point. But then you took a break before, we even get into the new project and such. You took a break. So you want to tell us what made you, after, going with such steam and such momentum, what made you kind of took a minute and just step back for a bit?
It was the behind scene things that were happening. Yeah. Sometimes the outer, what goes on the outer, people don't know what goes on in the backdrop of trying to prepare for something big like that, and to continue your ministry and your career. There was some things that was going on, and I kind of said, forget it. It was at that time, the recession was happening, and I was signed with a label, and I found out that I was being dropped. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's what actually happened, and I kind of not gave. I didn't give up. Gave up for like a minute, and then I got back on track. I said, "Nope, I'm not gonna give up. I'm telling everybody else not to give up, and here I am giving up, and I can't do that." So it took me several years to get back on my feet to try to. I was still writing. I was still
Mhm.
doing Lucinda. I was still going around singing
Yeah.
and doing what I needed to do for ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But when it came down to the industry, I kind of like, and that was the year that I won the Stella Award.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
2011.
Yeah.
2011.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2011 is when I won the Stella Award. And right after that, that's when everything started going crazy. Like everything just started falling apart. And I gave up. I kind of gave up for a season. And
Mm-hmm.
then God woke me up and said, get up. I think it was 2000, maybe 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I took a big hiatus break. And then
Yeah.
my life, just my personal life, started going crazy. And that was it. That's why I took the break.
But
Lucinda, when you talk about, I'm sorry, Sharon, when you talk about taking a break, because life happens to all of us.
Yes.
And things can happen to us. I know, just going back into your bio, things even in your early years when you lost your dad, the
Yeah.
things that took place as far as that's concerned. I mean, the loss of a parent. I've lost a mother. You lost your dad, and the pain of all of that, and just the resiliency that you have to bounce back in the
Yeah.
midst of heartache, and to see how God blessed you along the way, just by the fact that you kept your hand in His. So even
Yes.
in your earlier years of singing background vocals with some of your influencers, the people that that we love, and honestly, this past other awards, I mean, who got honored? Tremaine Hawkins,
yeah, that was
Yeah.
so
12 sisters, to
beautiful. Yeah.
see that this past weekend and
I,
know
I
that
was
you
all
were part of that
smiles because
journey.
she so deserved that.
Yes, very much
She
so.
so deserved that.
Yeah,
You know, and you never know what a national recording artist like her, a
mhm,
legend,
mhm.
what they go through feeling unappreciated. All
Yeah,
these
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
of singing, Tremaine and I are still close. We're still, that's my mama. Like she
mhm,
is the person that groomed me to be who I am today in the
mhm.
industry. Her and Talisa Stinson.
Okay.
But Tremaine Hawkins was like the one who told me your hair is nappy.
Hmm.
If you don't, we're gonna take you shopping and go get some stiletto shoes because I didn't know what a stiletto shoe was. I used to wear sneakers and
Mm,
flats.
mhm,
She taught me how to dress. She taught me, how to work a mic, how to work a stage, how to do sound check. I was the one doing her sound check. She would have me doing her sound check. She said, because one day you're going to be doing what I'm doing and you're going to have to learn this stuff.
mm,
Yeah. So
mm.
Wow.
she deposited in me at the age of 16. I was on a stage singing in front of thousands at the age of 16. She
Wow.
came and got me.
Wow. Wow, that is unbelievable.
And then even to the piggyback on something you said when you were mentioning kind of hitting each of us differently and having to take a pause, going through 2020, right? I think that was like the great equalizer, right? Because that kind of leveled everyone that was so busy that just couldn't have a time to do, anything at all. We all pretty much, kind of got leveled in a sense of,
We got
being
shut down.
slowed
There
down.
wasn't level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That we
yeah,
got totally shut down. Like it
yeah.
was it was scary in the
Mm-hmm,
beginning. Like because we have never I know as a solo artist, I've been out here grinding for years.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
And never in a million years have I been home in a month. I'm singing somewhere
Yeah.
Yeah,
within that month. I don't
Mhm.
care if it's two, three, somewhere down the line, I'm singing somewhere. Never have I gone this long without singing somewhere or doing something or getting on a plane or
Yeah.
driving somewhere or, I was home. Home finally got to spend time with me.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
you know, and that was something that I was not used to. The first couple of months of March and April, when they finally shut us
Mm-hmm.
down,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And one day God gave me a plan. So I got up. I said, since all of us need masks, I'm gonna sell masks. And that's
Mm.
what I did. It made thousands.
Wow.
I
Wow.
made a lot of money doing just masks. I sell shoes, but I couldn't sell shoes because ain't nobody going nowhere.
Mm-hmm,
Well, this is
mm-hmm,
true.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
This
mm-hmm.
is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started selling clothes and I started selling masks. And mask was my number one. I started selling masks that nobody had.
Mm.
Wow. So that is attributing really to the resiliency that's really in deep inside of you.
My
That
drive.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, that is
Uh-huh.
definitely
Which
yours. That
is
definitely
which
yours.
is inherited.
Mm,
It's inherited. My granddad, my grandmother, my great great grandmother, and then my great granddad and my grandfather were
Mm-hmm.
workers. My mama is 82 years old and still working a job.
Oh wow.
wow.
And
Wow.
she's an entrepreneur. And she have her own business. So that trickled on down to me.
Mm.
And then it trickled on down to my son. My son is a go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have three sons, but my middle son is a go-getter. He's in music. He's a producer. He plays the 1800 instruments. You
Mm-hmm.
know, skates. He played basketball. He's always having something, having skating
Yeah.
parties. You know, trying to
Mm-hmm.
get money. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just trying to get that cash flow. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we all should have some kind of stream of income coming in.
See,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I was gonna talk about too, because kind of pivoting, like as an artist, someone just looking and saying, hey, you've been doing so much and so forth, but when something like that happened, like how important it was to have that mindset to say, hey, I can shift, I can pivot, like just
Yes.
being able
The
to
pivot, that's the
fluidly
word
move.
right
Mm-hmm.
there,
Yeah.
pivot. You have to
Hmm.
always have an out. Okay, so what if something happened with me with singing? What if I can't sing again? I got to have something, that I can fall back on.
Yeah.
I didn't go to college because I went straight from high school on the road with Tremaine Hawkins, and then it continued from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and and believe it or not, speaking of college, I was thinking about going back to school,
Mm.
And,
Okay.
and do so.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Absolutely.
get
You
my
should. Yeah.
degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was something that I couldn't do. I actually had a scholarship to go to Berkeley College of Music, and I forfeited it to go on the
Oh
road
wow.
with Tremaine.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So in the fact that you have, as you pivoted into an area where, as you said, what we're going to do when if you stop singing, and singing didn't happen for every musician. It didn't care
Mhm.
from A-listers to the independent artists. No one was going anywhere, and no one was doing anything.
It
So in
was
a
it
time,
was sad. It was
yeah,
sad because everybody in the industry know that I don't play. I'm a go getter, and um, I started helping other artists, like helping them get money. Telling them where to go to get free money.
mm-hmm,
Um, I started doing what I do. I do research, and I
Hmm.
go where they don't tell us to go. I go to the other people to ask them where the money. Where's the money?
mm-hmm,
Or you got to ask, or they're not going to tell you.
mm-hmm,
They're not
mm-hmm,
going to tell you. It's just like with my shoe business. A lot of our people don't know how to set up accounts with like a Nike or Uggs, or
mm-hmm,
that they want to do it like, get it from overseas and get it illegally.
mm-hmm.
You got to know how to set up accounts with these people with directly, So I'm trying to help our people realize that there's resources out there. There's
Gotcha.
resources out there.
Awesome, awesome. And as we talk about resources and your resiliency, we're going to go back to 2006 when we talk
Well,
about, okay,
yes,
turn your pressure into what?
praise. Turn
Okay,
your
Let's go.
pressure
Let's
into praise.
go.
let's go. 2006, Turn your pressure into praise, which is exactly what Lucinda Moore did.
Yes, I did.
Turn your pressure into praise. Give him glory every day. Lift those hands and be set free. Walk into your victory. Pick myself up off the ground. All my troubles have me bound. Satan tried to come and steal my joy. Still got praises for the Lord. Victorious. Let me put your mind at ease. You are blessed. Trust in Him, He'll set you free. Victorious. Hey. You are blessed. Turn your into praise. Into praise. Turn your pressure into praise. Turn your pressure into praise. Give His glory every day. Lift those hands and be set free. Walk into your victory. Pick myself up off the ground. All my burdens have me bound. Satan tried to come and steal my joy. Still got praises for the Lord. Let me put your mind at ease. Just trust in Him, He'll set you free. Hey, turn your into praise. Into praise. Give Him glory every day. Don't you cry. Give it to the Lord. Turn your pressure into praise. Turn your pressure into praise. Give Him glory every day. Don't you cry. Stop crying. Give it to the Lord. Turn your pressure into praise. The victory, you got it. The victory, turn it into praise. The victory, you got it. The victory, turn it into praise. The victory, you got it. The victory, turn it into praise. You've been hurt. You've been broken. But that's all right. Turn it into praise. You've been mad. You're overnight. But you're the morning time. No more hurt. No more struggle. Turn it into praise. He has my praise. Every ground. Will hate. The victory. The victory. With your hands. Give it glory. Give it praise. Turn it into praise.
Ma'am. That
Yes,
right
yes,
there
yes.
Thank you.
was the anthem. That was the anthem and brought healing and
Yes.
just joy to so many people. And
Yes,
to
ma'am.
see, where you have come from through this time of, wanting to give up. And I wanted to go back a little bit because this song right here was a testimony.
Yes.
People that were sick, lost their jobs, thought their families weren't going to be together,
Yes.
kids acting up and acting a fool. But
Yep.
that squeezing that the enemy tries to do, because he comes to still kill and destroy, but
Yes.
turning that pressure into
Into
praise.
praise. Yes.
It's an atmosphere changer.
I
Did you
actually wrote
did you
that
know that?
song. Yeah, I actually wrote that song while I was going through a divorce. I was in the middle of a divorce. And my ex-husband and I was living in the same house
Mm,
still, but we weren't together. We were
mm,
separated.
mm,
Raising three children together. And I've always said that I never believed in divorces.
mhm,
I grew up five baptized holiness, so we were very strict with stuff like that. So I didn't get married to get a divorce.
mhm,
So I felt like I was losing my mind. My heart was broken.
mhm,
Um, I didn't know where to go. I was concerned about my children because they were close with their dad. Um, it was just crazy at that time, and I laid down to go to sleep one afternoon
mhm,
because I was so depressed. And I heard a voice say, "Turn your pressure into praise. Why are you
mm.
crying?
Wow.
Why are you worrying? Just do what I told you to do. Just write this." I got up. I always keep a paper and a pen next to my bed.
Mm,
Yeah.
And I got up and started, and I wrote the title, "Turn Your Pressure into Praise." Turn your pressure into praise. And I kept writing. I kept writing that over and over again, like if we were in school.
mhm.
Turn your pressure into praise. Turn your pressure into praise. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a song. I'm gonna write this song. I'm gonna just go ahead and write this song in the middle of this divorce and all of this stuff that I have to go through. I'm gonna
Yeah.
write this song, and this song is gonna be for me.
Mhm.
And when you can minister to yourself on a song, everybody else is going to feel the effect.
And the
And I
effect
begin to
itself.
pen the song. Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah. Go ahead, Sherry.
No, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, you first have to encourage yourself, right? And in the
Yes.
process of encouraging yourself, you'll be amazed to see how many others are going through and dealing with the same things that you're dealing with. And it's a
Right.
reason sometimes why, we are dealing with things, for whatever that was birthed out on the other end as well, too, and now years later, that's still ministering, that's still affecting change, that's still pulling
Yeah.
everyone through that is dealing with some form of pressure one way or
Right.
another. They're aware, like, hey, you can turn that into praise. So I think that
Right.
just kind of speaks for itself, just the
Yes.
messaging and everything, in and around that. And
Yeah.
and and so much too has happened, since you release that. So much has happened, as you mentioned, switching from, the last label that you were there. There's a new distribution deal, that
Yes.
everyone is
Hmm.
talking about there. There's
Yes.
a lot of transition, a lot of newness, that's happening. So,
Yes.
to kind of bring us up to speed, how is that transition going? And, how is this new season with everything else right now going for you?
Well, back in 2017, again, I reached out to a young man named Cedric Thompson from Charlotte, North Carolina. His wife is LaJune Thompson.
Hmm.
And after my hiatus with not doing music for like it had to be about 8 years, 7 to 8 years. Um, I decided to go ahead and pick up. I said, if even if I got to put it out myself, if I have to call radio announcers myself to tell them to play it, that's what I'm going to do. I had enough contact and enough people from down through the years to contact them and say I have new music out. And so I released a song called "Walking in My Favor" in 2018,
Hmm.
which got a stellar nomination.
Yeah.
I worked that song to death. I mean, it was incredible up until it hit like it in the 50s on the radio chart. I was calling the program directors at the radio stations. I was calling people. I was doing bookings. Then I hired my booking agent, and he started doing the bookings. And Walking in My Favor did very well for an artist who did it herself.
Yeah,
that's good.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Most program directors at radio stations don't want to talk to the artists. You have to hire a radio promoter to help you. And I'm helping somebody right now. I'm helping a new artist who's trying to do it, who think that they can do it themselves. These program directors, they don't respect that. Some of them do. Thank God I had a name out there already. But for those who is trying to get into the gospel industry, you got to hire a radio promoter and a publicist. There's two things you got to have. You know, when you planning your album, when you're planning, you know, you want to do a single or whatever, there's other stuff you have to do after you do the packaging.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to hire people to help you get out there. And if not, you know, it was hard for me, and my name is out there already.
Yeah.
I was only number 50 something on the charts, and my name is out there. So we went from that. I put out another single that didn't do too good, you know, and I said, well, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and do a live recording. You know, this would roll into 2019. I decided to do a live recording, and we started working towards doing a live recording, and then the pandemic hit.
Yeah, the shutdown.
Yeah.
The country shut down. I had planned on doing a live recording at the Potter House Church in Jacksonville, Florida, with Bishop Von McLaughlin. We were all going to do it. We were planning it, getting it together for June of 2020. And that did not happen.
Yeah.
So I decided to go inside of the studio and just go ahead and do this. Now, December of 2020, I got a phone call out the blue. Lucinda, I need you to talk to this distribution company because they're interested in signing you. And I said, who? And they said, New Day and their distribution, they do the DSPs with Sony Orchard. I said, oh my God. We had the meeting like a couple of days later. I had the contract the same night.
Wow.
That's how interested they were.
Yeah.
So I am so happy, and I started planning. I took my pictures. I set up, you know, I got my glam team together.
Come on, glam team. Come on.
I set
Everybody needs one. Everybody needs one.
I set up with the photography with Drea Photography, Tierra Blunt and Wendy Jordan and Kent did my makeup. I mean, and here we are. Now my single is dropping. It's called Lord I Hear You, that is produced. It was produced by Cedric Thompson and co-written by him and I. I did the lyrics, he did the music, and boom, here we go. And now they had a date for August 20th for it to drop, but now it's dropping September 17th.
Okay, September 17th. And now let me just say, because of you've got clout in the industry.
I don't think everybody says that.
Call it what it is. Let's call it what it is.
I don't think I have that much clout in the industry. I mean, you millennials are off the chain. Y'all doing your thing. I mean, I'm old school.
They still got to respect
I have that
though.
much clout. I mean, I'm trying.
No, but here's the deal. What is different from millennials to those who were, doing the music in the 70s and, the mid 70s, late 70s, 80s is the grind. And that's what millennial musicians do not have, is that grind. And that grind was, there was really no social media. You had to really, depend on either the label or your management or whatever. She kind of froze, but she'll be back. And you had to depend upon them to do it. But really, it's that grind of going from place to place and just putting in the work. And that is really what happens. I think she from
Yeah,
go
looks
ahead.
like she might have, yeah, maybe when
Mhm.
she joins back in. But
Yes.
yes, and then someone else was mentioning the same exact thing recently, right? Like even if you have a team around you, you should still be the hardest working person on your team. Like your team should not be outworking you. You should know what's going on here. You should know what's happening. If
Hmm.
someone is having a discussion about something and you sense an opportunity,
Hmm.
you're following up with them. Hey, did you send my music here? Did you send it there? And I'm glad what Lucinda mentioned, before is that
Hmm.
yes, you can do a lot by yourself when you're starting out and you can do all of that, but it comes to a certain place when you're like, hey, you know, I need to hire XYZ to kind of get
Hmm.
this done and have it done right. Because even I know JJ Harrison mentioned early in his days, like when it was just him and YP and his wife, like his wife was basically his, person servicing his music.
Yeah.
At nights they would sing, go all over, and then at nights they come home and then they're sending it out, inboxing this person, reaching out. So you got to be willing to put in the work, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you said something that was absolutely pivotal, which is you cannot have your team outwork you, because the team that you are having and the ones that are surrounding you are the ones that helping to bring your vision to light. And if it's your vision and it was your baby that was given to you, then you're always pushing the baby, you're always carrying the baby, and you're always
Correct.
making sure that everyone surrounding you is respecting the baby and taking
Hmm.
care of the baby, even though the vision wasn't given to them. Also means you have to have the right person that can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't just get anybody. It's like you wouldn't just go to any physician and say, hey, could you be my doctor?
Yeah.
And you take your health seriously, you take your testing seriously. But when it comes to nothing different with your music, that is your baby. So make sure you have the right people surrounding you. Do your homework. What's their track record? Always
Yeah.
make sure you do your work, and we definitely make sure with our conference every year. And you've been to music conferences as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
We make sure that you're always surrounded by the right people. We've lost her for a minute. I'm sure she will be back. But while we're waiting for her to come back, we're going to play that song, "Blessed, Broken, and Forgiven," which she won the Stellar Award for in 2011. So we're going to play that for you right now.
For all of us that have ever asked the question, Lord, why are things upside down in my life? Today we have an answer in Jesus' name. Come on, Lucinda, talk about being blessed, broken. You've been told so long, your blessings were on the way, and you've done all you can to stand. The more you try to win, the more you seem to lose. Makes you wonder if it's God or man. My friend, you just keep the faith. God will help you run this race. Just remember, His word never fails. Everything is in divine order for you, and in time, His plan will reveal. Is still come, and your promise will come to pass. Although you have so broken, there is healing. There's healing here at last. To show you your plan for your life. He will reveal. So when you're blessed, broken, and given, it's in His perfect will. Now it's plain to see how good it is to be in the perfect will of the Master's plan. There's never a mistake, no trials you can face. Just remember, still in His hand. Never mind the enemy who from you will try to keep you from reaching your purpose. still coming. And promise, your promise, it will come to pass. Although there is healing at last. To show your plan for your life. When you bless them, hey, and give it. Hey, yeah. When I'm blessed, when I'm broken and given, you're blessed, broken and given. Hey, God, He blessed me. Hey, broken and given. You got to let the Lord bless you. Then you got to let the Lord break you. Then He will give you.
We had to take the people back. We had to take the people back. And I had to take this down because I felt something in my feet. And I started in the broadcast.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. My computer did something stupid.
But, no, it is okay. It is okay. We had to give this to the people.
Wow.
You won the Stellar Award in 2004, the traditional gospel, female gospel singer. And let me just tell you something. Your vocals are beastly.
Thank you.
Thank you. They really, your vocals are absolutely beastly. And you know, that really comes with time, training, and endurance, and the fact that you've got the oil. That's
thank you.
You got the oil.
And that's most important. That's, you know, I rather, like I tell people, I'd rather sing straight with the oil than riff with no oil.
Come on. You gotta say that again. Somebody gotta hear that. You gotta say
I'd
that
rather sing straight with the oil than riff with no oil. I can riff. I can do all the acrobats and stuff like that. I can't do like these babies now because they came out the womb doing something new. I still have the 1980 riffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I still do all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The millennials were like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, it's just crazy, just dumb. Like, y'all, I'll be looking at them like, where did you get that from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but I rather sing straight with the anointing than the riff with none.
Wow. Absolutely.
Because it's not, our gifts are not for us. Our gifts are for who's listening. And if you can't impact the heart or pierce the heart of the people who's listening, it's no use of doing it.
Say that
There's no use doing gospel.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's where I don't concentrate on, you know, they be sitting there. Sometimes when I'm singing, I can see like a lot of people, they sit there and see if I'm gonna do the next riff. I'm not. I'd rather sing straight. Let me hit a high note. I just hit a high note and then it'll get down in your toes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let me sing. Let me just do Lucinda.
Mm-hmm.
I don't concentrate on the riffing. Can I do it? Yes, I can.
Mm-hmm. And that's all in there.
That's good. That's it.
Go ahead, Sherwood.
No, I said I don't think there's anything else needed there. I think she kind of just packed it all into that one statement. Yeah. and that's good. That's powerful right there.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be able when you're doing it because it's and I think that's just a touch on something you mentioned earlier, right? You mentioned industry and you mentioned ministry in a previous statement that you made. And then sometimes there's a fine line between the two of those, right? Because you're ministering or you doing, are you doing industry, or you're doing it for a show, or you entertaining. So, I think that's key what you touched on, and you kind of just wrapped it around with this. And just before we transition into that song just now, we were talking, I know you started to talk about the new single, produced by Cedric Thompson. So what was it like, kind of, to two-parter there, Lord, I Hear You, kind of stepping back for a bit and now coming back into it? Like, what is I guess I should ask it this way, what is the meaning behind Lord, I Hear You? I know it's coming out, we'll be able to all hear it soon, but what is the meaning behind Lord, I Hear You?
Lord, I Hear You came during the pandemic. I started penning that song during the pandemic. Everything got shut down. With the industry shut down, churches shut down, schools shut down, jobs shut down. Everybody's working from home. God was speaking in that.
Yes.
The Lord was speaking, and we weren't getting it. We couldn't believe what was happening in the beginning. Like, okay, so the churches now, everybody still was having church during the pandemic. When the government tells us and the president tells us to shut down, well, at that time the president wasn't telling us nothing. But our governments and our cities were telling us, stop having church. Okay, don't stop gathering, stop. People were still having church because they still believed in the old school way. The Lord is a healer, the Lord is going to protect us, and the Lord was telling us to stop. He shut that down. He shut everything down for a reason. And the reason why I say the Lord did it is because he allowed it.
Yes.
The Lord allowed everything to happen during the pandemic. And what I found out, I promise you, I know about 30 people who is dead right now because they did not close their churches.
Wow.
People are in the grave right now because why? They didn't listen. They didn't listen to the voice of God. When God was saying, okay, so in the Bible, the Lord said, I am going to kill the firstborn. I need you to put the blood over state. Y'all go get your tails in the house. Put the blood over the doorpost, and I'll pass by you. This is basically what happened during the pandemic. The Lord says, stay home. No, don't gather. I'm doing something in this season. I'm about to bless most of y'all if y'all listen. And what happened? People got blessed in the pandemic. Blessed.
Yeah.
So I hear you, Lord. I hear you. Lord, I'm listening. I'm listening to everything you say. I'm gonna stay in this house. I'm not even going to a grocery store. They're gonna have to bring it to my door. I'm gonna spray Lysol all on the bags, everything. I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
And that's where I pinned the song. I said, okay, Lord, I hear you. There's a sound. There's a sound. You're speaking to us here.
Yeah.
In this pandemic. So that's why I pinned that song.
Well, hold on. Here we go. Hold on.
Just play a little bit because I'm not supposed to play it yet.
I'm just gonna do a snippet.
Just a snippet.
But we're not gonna do the snippet
for y'all, but y'all that's listening on Facebook, just a snippet.
Just a snippet. Which we're gonna do in a moment. We're gonna take a short break and we'll be back after these messages. Letting you know what we have coming up here on Indigo Inspire Live and on the collab. So we'll be right back after this message. That's right. Next month here on Indigo Inspire Live, the one and only Deborah Carolina will be here doing her pre-live recording show exclusively with Indigo Inspire Live and Gospel Music Buzz right here live on Thursday at 8 p.m. on September 23rd. And her live recording will be taking place on September 25th. So you want to be in the building for this young phenom who's coming in here and singing background vocals like nobody's business. So Deborah Carolina will be here September 23rd live with us, celebrating her first live recording right here on Indigo Inspire Live. So thank you so much for that. And Lucinda, we're going to play a small snippet.
Just a small snippet for y'all that's listening and watching on Facebook.
Here we go. Here we go.
There is a sound I hear so clear. Lord, yes, a sound ringing in my ear. Lord, yes, it's a sound in the atmosphere. God.
That's all we can.
That's it. That's all we can do. Nothing else. You gotta wait. You gotta buy that track.
Yeah.
You probably feel like you got tricked. You didn't get tricked. We were just letting you know.
That was it.
Is coming out. And when I tell you, we've had the privilege of hearing the entire song. When I tell you, this is Lucinda coming out real and raw, and we can't wait for the entire project to be released next month.
Thank you.
And so we're really excited about that. And what is it that you want to kind of just let people hear from your heart in this season? You know, we thought we were coming out of the pandemic. We thought.
Start preparing and start planning. Even if you have to pivot, even if your job say stay home, you know, have something else that you can do. Come up with your dream. A lot of people dreams happen during the pandemic. You know, things that they never thought that they can do. You know, like I was saying earlier, I'm a singer. I never thought that I'll be selling masks. You know, go into, you know, people need masks. Go into what people need right now. People need food, people need, you know, try to come up with a way of getting people money. You know, there's ways of helping other people get through a pandemic. And it looked like, I'm just saying, it looked like we're headed back that way from what it looks like on TV. So just get prepared.
Wow. Good, Sharon.
No. I was gonna say just to touch even briefly on what Lucinda mentioned when she was talking about the title of the when she's talking about the song
Lord, I hear you.
Lord I Hear You,
Mhm.
is that a lot of times we're either hearing our own voice internally, we're turning to others, we're listening to others, we're hearing what others have to say. We're basically, there's so much distractions around, right? We're hearing everyone and everything else but the voice that we should be hearing. So I think even
Right.
the title of itself, just looking at the title, really speaks a lot into what we can expect just from that little teaser that we just heard there. So just to kind of recap briefly, so this is the season of newness, right? You got the new distribution deal that's already on the way there. You got the new single coming. We have the album. I know the album title, from what I've seen, hasn't been released. I know we're still waiting anxiously to see what's happening
Yes, yes,
there.
yes.
So
We're also dropping a lyric video,
okay.
and then also there will be a concept video too that everybody can watch on YouTube, and that's coming probably a month later.
Mhm.
Awesome,
So,
awesome.
but what I want everyone to do, I need everyone to follow me on all social media. Under Lucinda Moore #1 on Instagram, on Twitter. And go, please, please, please. I'm asking everyone that's looking at this at my live interview to go to YouTube and go under Lucinda Moore channel. I need you to subscribe to my channel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This help out whenever you subscribe or whenever you follow artists. It helps them out a lot. It helps us out a lot. So please do that, and please, there will be a pre-order for this single. So please purchase. I love streaming, but purchase the single.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely. And then, Patrice, before I kick it back to you, before, Lucinda mentioned anything else, I wanted to also point out too, in the midst of all of this, when you mentioned pivots and everything else, you also started a music imprint group, right? You started your own label basically. So
Yeah.
you want to
Yes.
touch a little bit about that, because that's what the album is going to be released under, correct?
Mhm.
The name of my label is called Nala Music Group. Nala comes from my first granddaughter. I have two granddaughters, and my first granddaughter name is Nala, and I just named it after her. Nala Music Group, and of course the distribution is under New Day and Sony.
And why was it important, again, thinking of pivot and thinking of ownership and everything else? Why was that such a pivotal role at this point of your career to take that step?
Yeah.
Because there's no more labels, and maybe I can count on my one hand how many labels there are in gospel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe five.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody else is
Mhm.
independent. So I said, plus, when you go independent like that, most of the money is in your pocket.
That's right.
When you sign with these big labels, you got to give half your publishing, half your writers, you got to give half of everything.
Mhm.
With this one, I didn't have to do that. So it comes to me and to my inheritance.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
So that's why I
that's
did it.
Awesome. Now, is this a legacy that you're passing down to the next generation? What would you like to pass down to them in terms of their future music career?
Stay humble. Keep a
mm,
level head. What I'm seeing with the millennials, with the next generation, is and I was discussing this with somebody the other day, that you guys y'all want things to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be given to you on a silver platter. You got to work. You got to work. It's not going to be given to you. You got to work for this, or else you're going to be a one-hit wonder. We only going to hear your name one time. My thing is, you want longevity.
Yeah.
And if you want longevity, you got to work for longevity. It's not going to come easy. It took me 14 years to get a record deal. 14. From the time that I started to go solo, 14 years for me to get my first deal. Some of y'all want things to happen now. It's not going to happen. So I want to just leave this with you. There's a few things that you have to do. And I hit on it earlier. You have to line up your career in your ministry and line it up. I wish that the millennials, they're doing good, but they did not experience the industry how I experienced it coming in. Yeah. I think I was the last of the Mohegans that experienced the real gospel industry and how it was and how big it was. It's okay now, but it's harder to get in now. Before it was easier to get in. Now it's harder to get in. So I just want to I want to encourage, those that are trying to do the same thing that we're doing out here, and on the same level. I'm still trying. I've been out here for years and I'm still trying. I'm still not on the level of Yolanda Adams and Tamla Mann and all of them. I'm still not there. I'm getting there. I'm working to get there. I still have to work. And some of y'all don't want to work, and you have to work to get to where you to your goals. So,
but even
that's what I want to leave with them.
And even with that, real quick, Patrice. So, but how do you stay relevant? Because clearly you have done that. Stay relevant in such a fast-paced, fast-moving industry, right?
Yeah.
Because so many times, things are flip-flopping or changing. Someone might try to run after one trend to a next, this, that, but you've clearly have a formula that you've stuck with, that you stayed relevant, and you've embraced your own authenticity that have carried you through to this time. So how, what would you say about that as well too?
Well, I would say that I had an advantage. I had an advantage because I was already out there. I wasn't out there, but I was, something happened in my career where people recognize it. The millennials, mothers in them know me. Most of the millennials don't know me. They, so I'm still trying again. I stay relevant because I keep my name out there. I stay online. I try to keep up with what everybody's doing. I try to keep my name out there. There's ways of doing that. I'm still trying. I still don't have the numbers, on Twitter and IG. Everything is streaming now. Everything is, your social media now. I'm still trying to keep up with that. I don't know. God is God. All I can say is God, that I'm still here.
Yeah. And on top of everything else that you're doing, you're the co-host with Earl Bynum on Music Soul.
Rejoice.
Yeah, Rejoice. And so that's a syndicated show that has definitely put you out there as far as just in the music world. But one of the things that is really critical that you said is longevity, but it's also that once again goes back to that work ethic.
Right. And work ethic. Right.
For the millennials, they missed out, obviously because of birth, where the timeline they were born in, but to be under the tutelage of the Hawkins, Andre Crouch, Carmen, may rest in peace, who passed away this past year.
Yeah, and Carmen gave me a big opportunity, to be on TV, and Carmen was major, Yeah,
absolutely.
And
because you have that's foothold to the CCM side with Carmen too.
And I was also a feature on one of his albums. So a lot of people don't know that, but I was a soloist on one of his albums. And and what I tell people is your connection, and you have to know how to network.
Absolutely. And the past workshop we had, this a Power Up conference a couple months back in June, Dennis Cole, who's part of SAG, Dennis said the same thing.
Uncle Dennis, that's my uncle. I love him.
Dennis made the comment that connecting and the importance of networking, because it is so critical in how you're going to really flourish in the gospel music industry or even the CCM industry as well. And that posture of humility, being teachable, is so important to be able to grow and to glean from those who've already paid the way. And Lucinda, you have paid the way, and you have paid your dues, and it is your time.
Thank you.
So we are excited for what is ahead for this new album, this new single, and for the new release. And please keep Indigo Inspire Live and Gospel Music Buzz abreast of what you're doing. So we'd love to be a part of just celebrating you as you are getting ready to give birth to this major baby.
Thank you. I think some of the Facebook watchers are asking questions.
Let's see.
I have one that says, so with your own label, the company is only responsible for distribution. That's the big part. The distribution is of what I was talking about, of getting your stuff out there in the stores and on streaming. So yeah, they're responsible for that. I was responsible as the label to come up with the product, and I just give it to them.
Yeah.
And I am also responsible for hiring my radio promoter, my publicist, my
marketing
makeup artist,
team,
all of that. Yeah. But that comes with bookings. That money comes with the bookings that come in, and management and booking agents and stuff like that.
Yep. And let's see, I don't have any questions on my side. Do you have any more questions on your side, Lucinda, that you see?
No, I don't see no more.
Sherwin, do you have any questions as well?
No, I don't see anything. I think it was just a while up. Someone mentioned. Didn't someone tell her years ago she can't sing? They have eaten those words thousands of times.
Right here.
I'm sure.
Yeah, right here. Here he is.
I had some recording artists who could not believe that I had a record deal, and because they felt like I was not on their level. Major recording artists. They told other people she can't sing. How when Pressure to Praise hit, they didn't understand why my song was big like that, because they felt like I couldn't sing. But I'm so used to I came from the boot camp of Connecticut. Connecticut was my boot camp. Bridgeport, Connecticut was my boot camp of criticism. And so when I got into the gospel industry, it didn't bother me, because I was always used to somebody saying something about me. I always say, I can show you better than I can tell you.
That's good.
Put the same artist that said this, we was on the same program. They put me before that artist, and it was all over.
Okay. And
so I can show you better than I can tell you that what God put in me is impactful. It impacts. I don't have to sing like you. I can sing like me.
Yeah.
And it still impacts.
That's
well,
good.
Let me just tell you something.
No competition. Gospel music is not competition.
Come on, say that
again.
It's not.
We don't have to be in competition. We're supposed to be in this together.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna show this, because one thing's for sure. Now, this is the announcement flyer that we did last week to announce you're going to be on the show. So let's talk about this gown.
I'm sorry.
About how you just came out and put this out here like this. I can show you better than I can tell you.
I can show
what I'm saying is
better than I can tell you.
And if that's an indication of don't mess with old school.
don't mess and here was the idea. Nobody was doing Regal. We got away from all of that. Everybody want to wear jeans. I ain't wearing no jeans on no stage. I'm not doing that. I wanted to present out to the people, me. That's me. What you see in that picture is me. That's me all the way. That's what Tremaine Hawkins taught me right there. And we got away from that. Your appearance is, when you're doing an album or cover, You got to have a cover. You can't be Xeroxing and snapping from your phone and putting it on an album cover. That's not how it's supposed to go. Well, you got to invest in yourself. Invest.
Well, someone here, they saw something other than the dress. They said, okay, legs. So I'm just saying. But we're just going to say, but holiness is still right.
Holiness is still right. And yeah.
Holiness is still
that was Tierra Blunt. Tierra Blunt is my stylist, and she don't care about what I say. This is too much leg, ma'am, and breasts. I can't.
But anyway, Lucinda, it has been an absolute pleasure and a joy to spend in this hour with you. We are just so elated for what is next and what is coming forth with this new project. And everybody, please take the time to follow her on all the social media, Lucinda Moore 1, and just really support, not just stream, but purchase the song. It helps every artist that has committed themselves to bringing out quality music to share the message of Jesus Christ. So please, as you sow into them, they've already poured into you through their music. So it's reciprocal, and the blessing goes both ways. So please do so. As always, hey, take this opportunity to thank my co-host who's been riding with me every Thursday for season 4 here.
Let's go.
Live here. Sharon Williams here on Gospel Music Buzz. We are hyped, and I'm going to make sure you have all this information here. You see it right here, the ticker tape at the bottom, how to connect with him, as well as with Indigo Inspire Live. Please like us here on Facebook at Indigo Inspire Live, as well as on Instagram and on Twitter as well. We are doing things here, and we're excited about it. And once again, hey, we got an announcement for you too that's coming up, and we are, look who's coming in the door. September.
Lord have mercy.
Titus Showers will be with us on September the 30th. Here in the Indigo Inspire Live studios. And so we are really excited about that as well. So listen, we are doing big things. Doors are opening, and we really appreciate your support. So share this live. Will be up. Thank you, everybody that's watching on YouTube as well.
Thank you.
It will be here to just support Lucinda. And once again, Lucinda, congratulations.
Congratulations,
this
Lucinda.
New project.
Yes, we're excited.
We really are genuinely excited for you. We really are.
Thank you.
Yeah. And once again, you know what? Let's give a shout out once again. He said, come on. He said, okay, ladies, we thought we put it up back up here again. Just to throw some love to you. So anyway, all right, everybody, once again, Sherman, good night. Lucinda, good night.
Good night.
And on Indigo Inspire Live, I always tell you each week, it's not just a vibe here, baby. It's a whole mood. God bless you. We will see you next week. Take care.
Take care.